Hey, what's up, guys? Max here. We're going to be talking about just the Serpents Special 1 and Special 2 and his special attack abilities. So he's a very, I don't want to say complex because he's actually easy to use, but he's got a lot of things going for him. So typically the way I understand things is by chunks. So I'm going to try to share it to you in that way. So we're going to be talking literally only Special 1 and Special 2, because even in that Special 1 and Special 2 abilities, there's a lot to cover and a lot to talk about. So on the first bullet point, this covers all specials, not just Special 1, Special 2, Special 3, covers them all. So it says on activation, gains an unblockable passive for 0.65 seconds. If the first hit breaks the opponent's block, the unblockable is pause. And as an attacker, the potency of the Serpent's instant damage is increased by 70% until the end of the special attack. So we saw that in the deep dive, and it was kind of alarming because we saw unblockable specials. And that projectile, the beam that it was on the Special 1, it felt like it was not dexable, right? And it's actually not dexable, by the way, because on the second bullet point, it says on activation gains an indefinite true focus buff. This buff is removed when the Serpent is struck, but as a defender is only when struck by a special attack. While this buff is active, the Serpent's special attack cannot be avoided with the Dexterity Mastery, and that is what it seems very alarming, right? So let's try to get those two bullet points with Special 1 on display. So first, we're going to go for a Special 1 attack without hitting into the block. So right there, you notice his power gain, which is, we're not going to talk about that because we're going to talk just literally about his specials. Okay, so here we go, Special 1, and it's about 2045 damage is what we're seeing. So let's go and try to launch a Special 1 into his block, and we didn't. So that we should see the same amount of numbers, 245. Okay, which is fine. So let's work our way to another Special 1. So let's get hit a bit here, and he's gonna block, and now we're gonna see numbers at 4866. Okay, why was that increased? It was increased because of what the bullet point says when it comes to his specials. Now we're gonna see a lot more here because Assassin, but now it's 5670 on this final phase of his life. But the reason why we saw that increase was because instant damage is increased by 70%. So if you want to maximize his Special 1 damage, basically, you are going to want to basically launch that into his block as much as possible. There's a big difference on damage being dealt when launching this special attack into the block as opposed to not launching the Special 1 to the block. And why was that on the Special 1? So on the Special 1 specifically, if we look into the Special 1, so on activation, inflicts a fear debuff for 10 seconds unless already active. We saw that, but we didn't really see any benefits on that fight. It says projectile hits inflict an instant cold snap, dealing 924 energy damage. So that is what was basically increased by 70% on there. Now, here's some dev notes regarding special attacks. Hear me out. This combination isn't quite as scary as it reads. The first hit of the Serpent Special 1 and 2 are both melee attacks, meaning that they can be avoided by any champion when they, even when the Dexterity Mastery is disabled. Offensively, take some lessons from Massacre and Hulkbuster to get the most out of the Serpent specials, which is hitting into their block. Okay, so now let's break down this unblockable situation. So the first hit breaks the opponent's block. We saw that already on the footage there. Basically, as long as you hit into their block, you're going to go unblockable, and it's going to go unblockable throughout the entire special attack. So how do we avoid that when he's on defense? So when he's on defense and you're fighting him, this is how you're going to want to basically avoid his Special 1. And it's pretty easy once you start practicing this quite a few times. So if you get him, so right here, he's got a Special 1 ready to go. As long as he launches it, you basically, that's it. You dex, you block, and that right there, I wanted to show you basically because there is some, like another simple dex you have to do when evading his last portion of his Special 1. Okay, so let's see. Hopefully he launches it. So we're going to block this. And then you want to dex a couple of times, maybe 2 dexes is basically what you want to do for that last blast. So let's do that one more time. So we're going to go and basically dex that, block the entire beam, and then Dex twice, and that is it. That is simple as that is what you want to do basically for the special 1. Now let's take a look at the special 2. When looking at the special 2, what you want to do is he's going to throw projectiles, but see, that's the part that you want to basically dex. And these 3 projectiles there, you can actually parry them if you wanted to. You can actually do that. I've tried that a few times. You got to get the timing, probably work on the timing there, but like basically want to showcase if he doesn't get pushed to special 3 is that the special 2 is definitely dexable or avoidable when it comes to the unblockable. See if we can parry. See, the timing was awful, but you can parry if you practice the timing on those projectiles, from the special 2 to avoid some. Try to avoid some of the damage, but do not try to dex them because your dexterity mastery is gonna get shut down. So a lot of people, it's going to be a little bit of a hard lesson to be learned, especially as you start playing him and start seeing him on defense a lot more often. So now let's talk about the special 1. So on the special 1, it inflicts something called the fear debuff, and basically the fear debuff does hurt a couple of champions when it comes to how they perform. One of them being Hulkling. So when playing him and he launches a special 1, one thing you're going to want to keep in mind is that the fear debuff. The fear debuff is going to come in, and you just got to remember that after a special 1, he's going to launch it. And so when you think you're going to be unblockable, like here, you see that it completely cancels out. So just keep that in mind. And there we go. And when it comes to using like Hulkling on this guy, he could do the fight, but the fear debuff does come in quite good, especially on defense. But it's got a dual purpose, I believe, on this one. You can also use it offensively for some nasty champions that just that fear is going to just help you on offense. All right, let's jump into special 2. So on special 2, projectiles hits deal a burst of 2,402 direct damage, multiplied by 250% of the opponent's armor rating. So this is going to be great if you can launch this into the block, into a champion, ideally a tech champion that has armor, right? You're just going to increase the amount of damage. You're going to be seeing some crazy numbers, and that's awesome. But also at the end of this attack, gains a power gain buff, granting 15% of max power over 15 seconds. So let's see if we can kind of showcase that right now with a simple duel. We're going to be dueling an Iron Man tech champion with a bunch of armor. And so what we're going to do is going to work our way to a special 2, or actually let him hit us to a special 2. See if we can get there. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to launch this bad boy into his block with 4 armors. Let's see how much damage we did. He is dead, basically. We need a tankier tech armor up champions for us to showcase this, but the big damage does show itself right there on the special 2. Let's try to find another stronger, beefier armor up champion so we can beat up. So we found a Red Skull, obviously huge armor up. We're going to try to work our way to a special 2 for his, see how this works out. If it works out in our favor, we're going to try to keep him away from a special 2 himself. Let him launch a special 1. Perfect. We're going to get ourselves to a special 2 now. This is going to be tricky because we're going to take some damage, but now we're unblockable. And see how we do. 15k red numbers there. That was actually really nice. Let's see if we can repeat that again. Let's see, we're going to go for special 1. See if he launches special 1. There we go. And we're going to go for a special 2 ourselves here. He's unblockable, which is fine. Now we're gonna launch that into his block. Completely unblockable, 17k. Very nice. Again, Some really nice numbers there. And then like you can literally slow play this fight if you wanted to, just the way I'm doing it, and where I'm literally just waiting for him to like get into close to him before I hit him, so I don't take damage. Look at that, 23,000 on the special 2. My goodness, now that he's got 10 armor ups, that damage is really looking really nice. And this is, I mean, this is a very slow fight, just because I'm trying to be careful. So now what we're gonna do is, I don't know if he's gonna launch his special 1. See if we can get our power gain. And we're gonna go right before, again, we do hit him. 20k, my goodness. That's pretty nice. I mean, it's not, you know, obviously there's no crits, but still a very nice and safe kind of fight against Red Skull. You know, the first time we took some damage because I hit into his block, which then I realized, I was like, you know what, I can avoid hitting to his block just by dashing in and getting close and then tapping the special as soon as I am gonna hit him. So 30, 32, that's because of Assassin, but just beautiful fight here. Let's go with the special 1. Nice. Again, very beautiful fight. Different ways of fighting or using the Serpent, just benefiting from this champion's armor ups. You know, any other champion, you really wouldn't be able to do these things. Obviously, he's kind of built for these things, being unblockable, hitting the opponents into their block, and just maximizing the damage with all those armor ups. So you can still deal damage like champions like Red Skull, which is just amazing, right? But yeah, guys, this is really pretty much the breakdown of like the special 1, special 2s, and then also the description of what his special attacks have. The true focus is really interesting too. That's also going to be fairly a feature that you're going to want to enjoy using, by the way, especially against champions that evade consistently. So let me show you a clip here of me fighting a Nightcrawler, and basically with this Nightcrawler, as long as you launch a special 1, you completely cancel Nightcrawler's ability of evading any single attack that you do, specials or just simple basic attacks into Nightcrawler. So he's going to be a really good attacker as well. But you know, I feel like he's going to be worth putting into your Battlegrounds deck for sure. Just by talking and discussing his special attacks and what he brings to Marvel Contest of Champions and Battlegrounds as a champion now. So let me know your thoughts on this breakdown. Hopefully we covered, you know, there's a lot to cover, and there's still 2 other scenarios and actual like demonstrations we can do. But yeah, let's at least just stick with the special attacks, and then we'll make another video with his other abilities, which he has a lot more. Take care. Peace.